Hello everyone, in this video we're going to be going over the budget page. To get to the budget page, we're going to click on the Insights icon. Now we're going to make sure that we have the correct month, day, and year selected. If we do that, we're going to click View the Budget. When we click View the Budget, there's a couple different reports we can look at. Let's click on the first one. This first one gives us a breakdown of the current work week. It's important to note that the information within our system for the days that have already passed is derived from what your payroll has sent us. But the information for days that is going forward that have not passed, that's projected information based on what is put into the schedule. So to have relevant projected information, it's very important for schedulers to be putting in accurate information. Okay, so let's take a look. We'll look at one specific day and see what information is available to us on this report. So we'll look at Sunday, January 27th, and you'll see that there's a CNA, LPN, LVN, RN, and all licensed nurse category. If we click on one of those, we're going to see a breakdown for that section of the max PPD, minimum PPD, scheduled PPD, actual PPD, maximum hours, minimum hours, scheduled hours, actual hours, and unassigned hours. This is on all of these, as well as on each day section, there's a CMS rating. If we click on the CMS rating, we see that the way we get this rating is the same rubric that the government uses. We just give it to you for that one day. Okay, another thing to note is over here in this spot down the column, there is for that day how many hours over or under your budget you are. Okay. If you click on this little eye on the very right of this page, you're going to see some other information. This is how far below or above your target census you are for that day. This is your budget PPD, this is your scheduled PPD, and this is your actual PPD. To see this information for every day of the week, you can click this big eye right here. It'll pull those all up. Another thing to note is that we have a bit of a color code. So if we click View Legend, we're going to see that their colors mean different things. So what gray means is that you are comfortably under the maximum budgeted hours. So for Sunday, January 27th, we see that CNA and RN are both gray. That means they fall under this category. But if we go and we look for something that's in red, it means it's over the maximum budgeted hours. So we'll go to Tuesday, January 29th, click on CNA, and then we will look at the maximum hours, which is 186.3, versus the actual hours, which was 203.86. That means that we are over the maximum budgeted hours, which is why this CNA is displaying as red. The last color is purple, and if something's purple, it means that it is too far under the maximum budgeted hours. So you can see that there's some purple on this list as well. For the total day, the amount of hours, if it's too far under or too far over, it will turn purple or red, but if it's right in between, it'll be gray. The same goes for the day of the week. Right here, this date, this will also turn a color if it's too far over or under. Okay, the next thing we want to look at is the eDaily report. The eDaily report can be accessed if you just click on one of these dates. And it's going to pull up for that day, Sunday, January 27th. The eDaily report is extremely important. It gives us information like PPD for your LPNs, RNs, LPVs, CNAs, and the total nursing direct. So when we pulled that up, we're going to see that it is for Sunday, January 27th. It is an eDaily for nursing direct. We can look over here. We can see RN, LPN, CNA. We can see what was scheduled versus what was worked for each of these sections, as well as the breakdown for day, evening, night, and then the whole day total. It also gives us a category for the PPD, the results after these different times worked. Okay. Another thing to note is right here, it shows the target hours, and we have the scheduled hours, then we have the actual hours. Target PPD, scheduled PPD, actual PPD. Then there's the census, the scheduled hours variance, which is the difference between the target hours and the scheduled hours. And then we have the actual hours variance, which is the difference between the target hours and the actual hours. Okay. So something that needs to be noted on this page is your scheduler will be using the eDaily quite a bit. Something that they are going to want to be looking for is unassigned hours. What unassigned hours are is when an employee was not put into the schedule, but they clocked in, and then their hours are being counted in Nursing Direct. This is telling us that these unassigned hours are shown at the bottom. If we scroll down, we're going to see some employees that worked, but were not scheduled in the system. So what your schedulers are going to need to do every day for the previous day is go and actually physically put these people back into the schedule, and it will reconcile the eDaily, and it will then count them into one of these sections where they worked and how long they worked for. Another thing that they'll be doing on a daily basis is looking for individuals that had a scheduled time but did not work. So we can see on this one that Michelle Lucer was scheduled for 8 hours, but she worked 0 hours. This would mean that our scheduler, or your scheduler, needs to go in and mark this individual as absent so she comes off of this sheet. So it's a big part of a scheduler's job is reconciling the eDaily. Okay, so I'm going to exit out of this, and we'll exit out of this report and go on to the next one. The next report we'll look at is a line graph that shows you your PPD statistics for Nursing Direct for the whole month. So what we see here is it's January 2019. It is the Nursing Direct PPD stats. We're going to see that the red line is your maximum PPD, which for this facility is set at 4. We're going to see the purple minimum PPD, which for this facility is set just above 3.4. We're going to see the actual PPD, which is in the blue line, and the scheduled PPD, which is the yellow line. It's also important to note that down at the bottom, you can see for every day how it corresponds to these different lines and the different values that represent them. You also can see the census for each day, the maximum PPD, the minimum PPD, the scheduled PPD, the actual PPD, the maximum hours, minimum hours, scheduled hours, actual hours, and then unassigned hours. If you go up here and you click Select Report, you can look at a specific category for PPD statistics. So instead of only looking at the Nursing Direct PPD as a whole, you could go and look at CNA PPD. Once we change that, we'll see that our maximum PPD changed, and now it's just about 2.1, and our minimum PPD is about 1.9. And then actual PPD is still in blue, scheduled PPD is in yellow. So you can go up here and you can choose what you'd like to see as far as the PPD goes. Once again, it has these statistics down here again. Okay, so the next report is very similar to the last one, but instead of showing PPD statistics over the whole month, it shows the amount of hours for the whole month. So we'll click on it. We'll see this the Nursing Direct hours statistics. So you're going to see the maximum hours in red, and that's based on the census number. The minimum hours in purple, which is also based on the census number. You're going to see scheduled hours, which is in yellow, blue, actual hours, which is blue, and then unassigned hours, which is turquoise right down here at the bottom. This graph also has all of the same information. And if you want to see a more specific breakdown of hours, like if we wanted to just see registered nursing hours, we could come back up to here and just click registered nursing hours. And we would see a detailed breakdown of only registered nursing hours for the whole month. Okay, so that wraps it up for this video. Thank you for watching.